You've probably heard the joke before, that short people just walk into the gym, sniff the air, and boom-ish biceps. They flex once and suddenly they're jacked like they've been training for years. And honestly, sometimes it does feel that way. But here's the thing, it's not just a joke. There's actually some real science behind why shorter people can look more muscular faster, and why tall people have a bit more of a journey ahead of them. It all comes down to physics, proportions, and even how much food you need just to exist. So if you've ever wondered why your shorter gym buddy seems to blow up after a couple workouts while you're grinding day after day, this video's for you. Let's break it all down. First off, let's talk physics. Because when it comes to lifting weights, your limb length plays a huge role. Think about it. If you're short, that barbell doesn't have to travel nearly as far on a bench press or squat. The range of motion is shorter, so every rep takes less time, less effort, and puts your joints and muscles through less total strain per repetition. But here's the catch. Less distance doesn't mean less tension. In fact, because shorter people can move the weight more efficiently, they often end up lifting heavier, relative to their body weight, which means more mechanical tension on the muscle, and that's what drives growth. Meanwhile, tall lifters are out here performing what feels like Olympic-level physics experiments just to get through a single rep. A tall guy doing squats, his knees, hips, and back are all traveling farther under heavier torque. Every movement becomes a full-body engineering project. His bar path is longer, his center of gravity shifts more, and it's way harder to maintain form under heavy load. So yeah, shorter lifters often get stronger faster simply because their bodies are better optimized for moving weight efficiently. It's not magic, it's just biomechanics. But the story doesn't stop at strength. Let's talk about how muscle actually looks on different body types. Shorter lifters tend to look muscular sooner. Why? Because they have less limb to fill out. If two people put on the same amount of muscle, say 10 pounds of lean mass, it's going to show a lot more on the guy who's 5 feet 7 inches than it does on the one who's 6 feet 4 inches. It's like painting. If you have one small wall and one giant wall and the same bucket of paint, the smaller wall is going to look fully covered a lot quicker. It pops. It looks done. For tall people, even after months of consistent training, it can feel like you're making no visual progress at all. You're building, no doubt, but it's spread across longer arms, longer legs, a longer torso. It just doesn't look as thick as fast. That can be super frustrating, especially when you're putting in the same or more work and not seeing the same payoff in the mirror. But don't get discouraged. We'll get to the tall lifter's superpower in a bit. Now let's talk about food, because this is where the unfairness gets even more real. Taller people burn more calories. Period. Just being tall means your body is expending more energy every second of the day. You've got more surface area, more internal organs to support, more muscle and bone mass to maintain. That basal metabolic rate, the calories you burn just to exist, is higher. So if a short lifter can eat, say, 2,800 calories and be in a solid surplus, a taller lifter might need 3,500 just to break even. That's not even bulking. That's just maintenance. So while the shorter lifter is casually sipping their post-workout shake and getting into growth mode, the tall guy is still over there working on his third plate of pasta, trying not to pass out from chewing. It's not just more food, it's more consistent eating, more digestion stress, more meal planning. The effort it takes to stay in a surplus as a tall guy is a grind all its own. And if you don't hit that surplus, you spin your wheels. You might gain strength, but the muscle growth just won't happen the same way. Okay, tall people, I know it sounds like we've just been roasting you this whole time, but here's where you win. Yes, your gains take longer. Yes, you've got to eat more, lift more, and wait longer to see the results, but once you get there, the payoff is massive. Tall lifters, when filled out, look insane. Broad shoulders, long arms, big chest, massive reach. It creates that classic superhero silhouette. Think Chris Hemsworth, think Michael B. Jordan, think any elite athlete over 6 feet who's put in the work. The visual impact of a tall, muscular frame is on a completely different level. It stands out, it dominates the room. And here's the best part. The work does pay off. It's just a longer ruse.